Hello, I'm attorney Tammy Saltzman, and you are watching Divorce Connection Network. Today I have a very dear friend I've known a very long time, Michele. Hi, how are
Tammy.
you?
I'm good.
I'm so glad to have her here. Michelle's a realtor with RE/MAX, and her niche in the area of divorce deals with retirement, boomers, the elderly, something that we call gray divorce. And you'd be surprised to know that there are many senior citizens and many people who are in second marriages that even after 25 years together come to a decision that it would be better for them to divorce than stay married. I have even found that some of them divorce and still stay together, but on paper they're divorced. And of course you're dealing with the ones that actually do divorce.
Yeah, I'm dealing with the ones that divorce, and I have a program called One Call Handles It All.
One Call Handles It All.
And it started with dealing with probate, trust, and estate properties, and then seniors that were downsizing. And mainly because there was a health issue or a spouse passed away or they're going to assisted living. But what we've seen is a huge trend in what they call gray divorce. And it's people that have been together for a long time, maybe the kids are out of the house, they're empty nesters, maybe it's just time to move along. And so there has to be some thoughtfulness and consideration as to what they're going to do with the assets that they have. And in particular, real estate is one of the largest assets that most people have. So the question becomes, what are they going to do with that? And women typically are the ones who are, according to AARP, filing for the divorces, and they have to decide if they can afford the marital home that they're in currently. And that's not just the mortgage. It also includes the insurance, which is extremely high, as you know, down here in South Florida. And any major repairs that could come up. A roof could cost anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 if there's a major issue. An air conditioning unit, if you're in a really large house, you may have 2 units. So these are the kinds of things that people have to really consider when they're moving along. The other piece of this is because of the age, and when we talk about boomers, we're talking 50 up, and but when you start getting into that gray area of 60, 70, 80, you're also looking at retirement issues, you're looking at healthcare issues, you're looking at is the reason for the divorce because it's just time to move along, or is it a way to protect assets too?
Right. I see both. I see couples that get divorced because it's time to move on. They're not happy. And then I also see it as a financial decision to better protect certain assets, especially if one person has more money than the other in a second marriage and one might be ailing and they don't want their assets to be depleted and then they go to the spouses. That's very common in a gray divorce.
It's a big deal, and I think when we were all a little surprised when we saw Captain and Tennille that there was a divorce situation. That would be a gray divorce. And the first thing I thought of is, I wonder what's actually going on there, because it seemed more of a strategic situation and I have no idea what's going on there, but I did think about that.
And you can watch a later show where we're going to have on an elder care attorney that's going to address some of those issues and help you make better educated financial decisions. But here we're talking about, I think a very good point that you brought up is, are you capable of maintaining a home and everything that comes along with the home? And I know this from personal experience, Michele, because when my husband and I separated in 2010, I stayed in my marital home for 4 years. And it was draining me.
It's draining. And it's not just the financial piece of it.
And that too.
It's the emotional piece of it, of all the memories that you had, what coulda, shoulda, woulda. And so what I always really, when I talk to my customers, the question is always, what do you want to do with the property? What's your exit strategy with the property? What is the type of lifestyle that you want for yourself?
Right.
Because you still have a lot of life in you. So you have to decide, are you going to sell the home? And then, as I like to say, if you can surround yourself with people that can think for you when you really are having a hard time thinking for you, that's a good thing. And so what we do is we list property once someone's ready to list. And trust me, I listen sometimes for months because people are not ready, or they decide and then they pull back.
Right.
That's okay. But what we do is we come in and we say, listen, we can list it properly, and here are some of the other things we can do. We can help you declutter. We can help us set up an estate sale. We can help you with charitable contributions. We can help with having the house cleaned out once you've decided to move the things that you want. The question always is, can you afford where you're at? And if not, then what's going to work for you?
Right.
What's going to make you happy?
Right. So if you're a senior citizen or a boomer, and you're thinking about what are my options,
right,
don't be hesitant to call Michele, because she could run the numbers with you, so to speak. And I know that you have referred me several seniors who were in need of divorce, and you've also referred me on the other side of my practice,
right,
in the real estate end, which I very rarely talk about on this show, but I'll put in a plug.
A huge piece of this, though, because you've got to speak with a real estate attorney,
right,
as well, to understand what the downside is.
And the reason why we work so well together is because I have a soft spot for the seniors, and I'm the type that will go out to Century Village and go out to the home so that the seniors don't have to come to me. I have a lot of empathy and compassion.
Absolutely. And I think what happens is, when I deal with my customers that are going through probate or they are doing the long goodbye, it's a grieving process. Divorce is a grieving process. Even if you may just be so angry at that person, you still have, I think, some grief issues that you're dealing with. Again, going back to that woulda, coulda, shoulda scenario.
And you're very good at helping seniors you make them feel very safe.
That's my goal.
You also provide them with a lot of information so that they can make better educated choices, which is what this whole show is about.
Right.
And that's why I'm glad to have you on the show, because if you can find a one-stop shop, then you can take care of everything. I know that you help them transfer all their utilities, and you help them with their homestead exemptions, and you help find people that are going to pack for them.
Absolutely.
And I know personally, I've seen you on moving day packing for your clients.
I was even at a house recently, a situation where a couple went into assisted living, and someone had to take over helping in the family, and so we had a couple days together, and I really went in for a couple hours and just went stage, declutter. It wasn't really necessary to have someone to come do it right now. We will need somebody to come in and clean out and do an estate sale, which we're working on, but I staged it. It's done. The pictures look great, and that just takes so much off of the adult children, because even with the great divorces, you're dealing with adult children from up north typically who are going, I don't get what's going on with mom and dad.
I had a divorce just like that, where I was dealing mostly with the son, and he had, I had to get a power of attorney, I had to get a waiver of confidentiality, I had to get a lot of different things to work with the son to help the mom get divorced.
Through the entire piece of it, because it is a piece.
And that was what happened. So first we found the realtor. And then they listed the property and they sold the property. And then the realtor referred the closing to me.
Absolutely.
And that's how I got involved.
That's how it works.
And then she said, you're a divorce attorney? I want a divorce. And then she said, but you have to speak to my son. And it unfolds. But when you have the right team and you connect with the right people, it could be made Easy.
It's a team effort. So if anyone's interested in knowing more about this, obviously get in touch with Tammy. I have a website, graydivorcerealestate.com, and I do work throughout the Tri-County area. So I'm not just I'm based in Boca. I travel all over the Tri-County for my clients and customers. So I've been here a long time.
That's
Way
great.
too long.
Well, I'm so glad that you joined us
Thank
today
you for
because I
inviting
love
me.
sharing what you do.
Yeah, we work together well.
You take care of people, and I admire that. And
so do you.
Thank you, thank you. So you can find information on Michele on our website at divorceconnectionnetwork.com. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time. Thanks, Michele.
Thanks, Tammy.